Hi, my name is Heidi Hovan, and I have been Orthodox for just over 3 years. Interestingly enough, I was actually a pastor in the Wesleyan Church, so being a Christian has always been really important to me. About 7 years ago, my sister and her husband invited me to go with them to the Orthodox Church because they actually converted before I did. And so that was the first I had really heard about it. You know, there's a saying in the military that the Orthodox are referred to as the smells and bells church. And that was definitely my first impression, was like, wow, what is all this sensory, input? There was just a lot of sound, there was a lot of smell, there was a lot of beauty. And I think for me, that was the thing that I noticed the most, was just the multi-sensory experience. That was very different than my Protestant upbringing. As someone who studied the faith, there were a lot of preconceived notions that I had to get over. Some things that I had been taught as a Protestant that when I looked into the history of the Orthodox Church, I actually found out that what I had learned wasn't exactly completely correct. That was probably the hardest thing for me to deal with. But once I was able to look into the faith and really tie it back to, Christ when he walked on earth, his disciples, and all of those who came after him, I was able to realize that what I lost, or what I didn't have in Protestantism, was a connection back to that original experience with Christ when he was actually walking on earth. Knowledge is responsibility, and once you learn a little bit more about the church and the way it was supposed to be, it was really hard for me to not embrace it fully. It was almost like a fly getting drawn into the fire, like that's just where you're going. And that was where I was headed. I think there's this really big notion, if that you should have heard about it. If it's a Christian church, that somehow as a Protestant, why haven't I heard about this? This can't be real. But if you're tired, or if you're hungry, or if you feel like you're not gaining an experience where you have been, try the Orthodox Church, because I guarantee you're going to find that there is so much more of the Orthodox Church in that church than there is of you. Go into it believing that the church that Christ talked about is actually still here, and it's still vibrant, and there's a lot of life to be experienced.